Hey everyone, so a few days ago I was sent a message on Facebook and it was a message about Doctor Who. Now the message basically said, it was a copy of an article. It was an article that was from News Today in Australia, and it was saying that the Daily Mail has claimed that the 5th season of Doctor Who is too scary for little kids. And I can't agree with that really. It's apparently Stephen Moffat has boasted that some of the episodes in this new series are scarier than any of the other episodes have ever been, and I agree, but I don't agree. It's hard to explain. First of all, let's have a look at the characters. I think the three ones that stand out are the Weeping Angels, which were in season 3, so they can't be that much scarier. Granted, they're a little bit more creepy. Just for the record, I have had a chance to catch up with the episodes, by the way. I know I said in a previous video that I haven't seen them, but I have now, so what I'm saying is fine. So the angels, they're a little bit more scary. It's just their faces, but they're not too bad. The Daleks, how can you be scared of a Dalek that's brightly coloured? I was quite annoyed when the Daleks were sort of recreated that way. I don't like them the way they are now. It's not the Daleks I love, it's not the gold Daleks, it's not the ones I fell in love with, it's not the same. The vampires, oh my god. Granted, I'm petrified of vampires. I'd rather sit in a room with 20 Frankensteins than one vampire. Mainly because Frankenstein monsters walk really slowly, but vampires have always scared me. I've never liked them. So for me personally, the vampires, just any vampires creep me out, you know. So that is scary. But I think it's about threshold and how much you can handle. For example, there are some little kids that are more brave than I am. Which is not saying a lot, but there are little kids that can sit and watch Doctor Who constantly and they're not scared of it. My little brother loves Doctor Who, he's 8, and he's not scared of it, you know. It depends on the monster. Like I said, I'm petrified of vampires, but then I love the Daleks, whereas there'll be some kids which find the Daleks horrible, you know, because they're so, you know, they're Daleks. Whereas some little kid might love the vampires, they might have a bat obsession. So it depends on what you're scared of, to be fair. I'm trying to think of other episodes in the previous series to sort of thingy them together. For example, the Krillitanes, the school episode where you got the big Krillitanes. I don't think the Krillitan monsters were scary at all. That episode was so bright and so sunny, there was no dark areas. And these Krillitanes were a little bit creepy, but they weren't scary. But I think for a little kid who is still at school and meets new teachers all the time, supply teachers and things, they're going to be scared by it because, you know, their new supply teacher could be a Krillitane. It's barbaric, but it could happen. Whereas they might not be scared of Cybermen because they are realistic. I mean, how often do you meet a big metal monster? Whereas you meet teachers every day as a kid. So it does depend on what it is. I don't think it's about how scary the creature is, but I think it's how the child perceives it. Apparently now Stephen Moffat wrote The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances, the 2 episodes from season 1 with Chris Eccleston. And they've been marked as some of the scariest episodes in the history of Doctor Who. And I agree. They are creepy, you know. Very chilling, but very lovely. I love them, obviously. In fact, they're some of my favourite episodes because mainly I love learning about the war and things. Plus, it's Billy and it's Captain Jack and it's just fantastic. But for little kids, that's going to be scary because it's a very dark episode. It's quite dingy and it's creepy, and of course that little boy, you know, that little boy could be in your playground at school type thing. Obviously he's not, but I'm pretty sure that there were little kids walking around the playground asking if people were their mummies. I think that's quite something that could happen, you know. So it's not about how scary the monster is. In fact, I think the scarier the monster is, the less realistic it is, and the less children are going to be scared by it because it's not part of everyday life. If you were to go and make a toothbrush that kills you, you know, if there's this toothbrush, this sonic toothbrush that is out of control and just attacks you and cleans your teeth to death, you know, that would scare little kids out because they have to go and clean their teeth morning and night. But if you created some big blob from outer space that they're never going to meet eye to eye, then it's not going to scare them that much. Like I said, it depends on the kids. Some kids might be easily scared, others aren't. But Stephen Moffat argues that kids want to be scared, and that is the truth. We all do, you know. It's why we go and pay money to go and see horror films and things. We like that fear factor when we know that we're safely behind a TV. Now, I'm pretty sure that parents are going to argue when their kids are having nightmares at night times because of an episode of Doctor Who. I've never known kids to have nightmares, but it is possible. But something I have noticed is that the Doctor Who DVDs are going up in certificate. They're especially, I don't think there is in Series 3, but in Series 4 there are certificated DVDs at 12, which clearly they're not for little kids. I'm waiting to see what the new ones are at. So it'd be interesting to see if there's going to start being 15 Doctor Who's and things. Obviously that's going to ruin it because Doctor Who is a family show. And so personally I don't think it's that scary for kids. The show is getting scarier over time, but look at the 60s episodes. You watch them and you can't be scared by them nowadays because we're so used to more advanced technology and images and things to make it more lifelike, you know. Granted, the Daleks did just look like they were holding a whisk and a plunger in the 60s, so that's not exactly scary. So as we've sort of got used to TV and developed throughout society and the years have gone by and things, we get used to scary things and we need something with a bigger fear factor to scare us. So yes, the monsters are getting scarier, but kid threshold to fear is getting stronger as well, so they need something more scary to scare them. So like I said, it just depends on the kid, it depends on the monster, it depends on how it's perceived. I'll post a link to that article for you, so you can go and check it out yourself, and feel free to leave me your own thoughts as well. Let me know if you think it's getting scarier and if it's too scary for kids. I don't know, maybe you've got a younger brother or sister who watches it and they get terrified, I don't know, let me know. But that's all I want to see on that. Please subscribe and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.